Welcome to the Lynn Miller Room. In this edition of the Morehead State Eagle Sports Coaches Show, Kevin Fulton has joined us for our first segment. And tennis getting ready to start. Kids come back on the campus next Monday, and you'll hit it hard by then.
Oh, our kids are mostly already back, and yes, seemed like a long break, but I was excited and biting at the bit to get started.
Tell us a little bit about, we talked about the fall, how important it is to your program, but this next little bit, because, you start the season just around the bend, I guess right now as a coach, you're hoping that they did everything you asked them to do in the break.
I used rosary beads. I was praying to mistletoe. Well, maybe not praying to mistletoe during the break, but yes, you hope they did. And, as far as their communication with me, apparently everybody worked out, but we'll see. We'll see.
You've added some players during the break, and hopefully, how is that you get a chance to add some players? Do they become available? Do they?
Yeah, we have 3 kids that are eligible to play. We have a transfer we just got in. She'll be here tomorrow. We got Enrique Samudio and Giovanni Samaya on the guys' side. Giovanni's the #1 ranked player in Lebanon and top 500 in the world. Played Davis Cup for Lebanon, left-handed. Very excited to have him. He comes with a very high tennis IQ. He loves the game of tennis. I think the word obsessed. The guy is sending me emails in the middle of the night. Do I need to be doing this? Do I need to be doing that? And I'm like, relax. We'll get you going. So very excited to have Giovanni. Enrique comes from Mexico City, and kind of a cool story with this. We got one of our girls because of Enrique, Andrea LeBlanc, and Andrea LeBlanc is the #1 ranked junior girl in Mexico. Both those kids come in with multiple national championships in their country. Andrea won, I want to say, 4 different titles this year that were considered national championships. Very good doubles player. Very excited to have her on the girls' squad. It kind of rounds out the top of the lineup with the 3 that we have coming back. And then on the guy, another girl we got coming in is transfer. Her name is Natalia Vulvalina. She was ranked 112 ITF, which is the junior rankings for tennis in the world, and she has to sit out this spring, but she's eligible immediately in August, and very, very excited to have her on campus. She can practice right away. Just has to fulfill that semester of sitting out.
Now, with the foreign players coming in, how close do you have to work with enrollment services and get everything lined out? That has to be a very difficult situation when you bring in the players in to make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted.
I'll tell you what, with Denise Kofer and Pam Jasing up in the international office, they are absolutely amazing. Myra Mays, she helped me get admitted and accepted Natalia in 4 hours. I have never had that happen here, and I was very excited. And you really do. You have to be in constant communication. The kids are in constant communication with them. The international office does an outstanding job. I don't know what I would do without Pam and Denise. They're a calming factor when you're scrambling, thinking, hey, they got to get this I-20, which for the people who don't understand international student visas and stuff, the I-20 gets issued. It gets sent to the kids. They have to make an appointment with the embassy. They present the I-20. They get their passport stamped with the student visa. They get a paperwork. So if this is not all correct, they're not going to be admitted into the United States. So it's nerve-wracking, and I'll borrow the words from a former boss of mine. They're never on your squad until they're on campus. And we had that happen at Louisville a couple of times when I was there, and we've had it happen once since I've been here.
Well, like we mentioned, that you don't have much time. Looking at the men.
Next Friday.
Yeah, January. Your classes start the 14th. You'll be at Louisville on the 18th with the men, and then
the women are here on the 18th as
well. So, you've got your hands full between now and next Friday.
Yeah, and it's exciting because you don't have time to think. And, one of the things that you press with these kids during the break is be ready. But at the same time, you try to let them understand that this is a game, and it's meant to be fun, and it's a privilege pressure. And I think I've talked about that on the show before, that these next few days we're wanting to hit a lot of balls, but at the same time we want to talk about the things that are most important are how hard you compete, how good of a teammate, and how well you handle the surrounding environment. Because tennis in college, I know Matt can attest to this, it can get loud, it can get crazy, sometimes it gets obnoxious. Think about playing tennis in front of a basketball crowd with only the noise coming from about 25 people instead of 500 people. And they've got some rule changes this year. The format's changed. We just got news from NCAA yesterday, so it's going to even be a more exciting environment. I'm looking forward to it. I get nervous this time of year. I drink a lot of water. I go to the bathroom quite a bit during matches because I can't.
Tell us a little bit about. Let's go back to Sunday morning. This past Sunday, and you hear the fire at Downing Hall with, people that know the campus know that up towards the softball field and the baseball field are the tennis courts.
Yeah. And
Downing Hall is in the shadows of the tennis courts.
I got a text from Brian, the AD, and he said, Downing Hall's on fire. I don't know if you have anything up there, but it's probably gone. And at first thought, I'm like, well, it's all our match day stuff. We had chairs up there, single sticks, scorecards. We had an old stringing machine up there that we used to use. It's still serviceable. I mean, we had so much stuff in there that was just day-to-day stuff. We're lucky that we had the hoppers of balls down at the Eagle Center, because towards the end of the semester it was getting colder. We were inside, but medicine balls, jump ropes. I think I had a car in there. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But and the thing that I want to say first and foremost is I'm just glad nobody got hurt. I heard a wall fell down on some firemen, and they were treated and released and doing fine. And I just feel sorry for so much people are going to be displaced up there, because I know I think it's transportation departments up there.
Yeah, and of course the emergency risk management for the university, Harry Gunn. The man who's over if something like this happens.
No.
And he's the one that's getting chased out.
He's getting chased out, and Harry does a great job. He's always out there when we're at practice, comes out, talks to the kids, and I just.
Well, it was
kind of some mixed feelings, because that was actually spectators would sit up there on the edge and they'd watch matches, and you hate for anything like that to happen.
Yeah, it was a lot of history up there. Built in '67, named after the first athletic director at Morehead State. The fact that it was athletic student housing at one time.
It was a football dorm, wasn't it?
It was a little bit of everything, because I remember Wayne Martin talking about it before. I think he might have even had some people up there during basketballs. It's part of the history. It was going to be razed or torn down, as it was said, because Morehead State bought the Round County Courthouse, the old Round County Courthouse, and they're going to move the offices, just moving a little quicker. But it did for a lot of the sports.
Like that, though.
A lot of the sports teams used it for storage.
Yes, we did. Softball had a room up there as well. And like I said, it was just convenient for us, because when we were up at the top courts, we didn't have to take the stuff down the hill to the Eagle Center. And, anytime something like that happens, you just pray that no one gets hurt. And I'm glad to say that no one really got hurt.
And you can't really tell the damage to the Sadler courts right now, because it's kind of cold.
Our fence is torn down. Yeah. There's some debris from the fire still up there. I mean, it's going to be some time. And I hope it didn't damage the courts, because, we've been very fortunate to have those courts resurfaced a couple of years ago, and it's a great place to play with the trees and the surrounding. And I don't even know if it's be safe to play up there as long as that structure is there right now.
Probably couldn't play. Probably have to wait till that gets that end gets raised, and then the safety purposes, because that's what it's all about, being kind of safe. So
absolutely.
So you start the 18th. And then we mentioned this before. I don't know who scheduled yourself. I don't know. You might have to check into the person who scheduled.
I do it, and I do it for a particular reason. Last year we played 3 matches the first match date. And if you want to win the conference tournament, you're going to play possibly 3 matches in 3 days. And, you try to tell these kids, it's almost like I told you so type thing. You need to be ready physically. You need to be ready mentally. It's my way of presenting a test at the beginning of the semester, and let's see how we pass it.
Well, with the men, Louisville, Kentucky, Xavier, right off the bat.
Yeah, and Xavier they didn't make the NCAA last year, but they have won the Atlantic 10 3 of the last 4 years. Eric's the coach there is a good friend of mine. Kentucky's got a new coach. They're coming off a Sweet 16 year. Louisville's always tough. I think they're ranked 34 in the rankings. I think Kentucky's top 15. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this team works together. It's really kind of a new team. In the years past, I think we graduated 6 players last year. We lost 2 guys from the starting lineup in singles, and we had a guy transfer out. So we've got basically 3 kids coming back from that lineup last year, and we've got 5 new players. So it's exciting to see the chemistry and how they mesh together, how they grasp onto the team concept, because all the new kids except for 1 are freshmen. And I'm looking forward to it because I love competing against teams that are supposed to beat you, because you really can come out and play relaxed.
Kevin Fulton is our guest, talking tennis here on the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. Mentioned the men's first couple openers. Then you take a look at your women's side. Marshall, always a strong program. They've had some great
top 40, top 50 in the country.
They've had some great double teams recently, and even advanced in the NCAA in the last 10 years or so. At Kentucky, at Louisville, and at Ohio State. That's first 4 dates.
We like to party. We like to bring it hard the first time out. And we've got a girl who I still don't think I can mention her name yet, so I won't. But she has a chance to make the NCAA as an individual, and we set this first part of the schedule up not only for her to try to get her in the rankings, but to get the rest of these girls ready for the conference. Because I honestly believe, and Brad, my assistant coach, believes this is the best girls team we've ever had here. In the last couple of years, we've been knocking on the door to win an OVC championship at the tournament. I mean, we lost last year 4-3 to Murray in the first round after losing to him 7-0 or 6-1. The year before that, we were in the semis against UT Martin. And I will say this, we didn't do it last year, but we defeated the champs the last two of the last 3 tournaments in the regular season. We were the only team to beat Jacksonville State. And I feel like this is the team that's going to make that push. We're very deep. We're very solid from 1 all the way through 6 on that girls' starting lineup. And I'm looking forward to it. I think that it's a very young team. I mean, we're starting one senior and 5 freshmen. I hope it's the Fab Five. I hear some reference to that all the time. But I'm looking forward to seeing how they compete.
Now, on the women's side, the first home match won't be until February 20th.
Actually, it's January 18th,
next
January, Friday, and we would like to have everybody.
Yeah, besides that, I'm sorry. We mentioned that. I'm sorry, but January 18th, you need a big crowd.
Yeah, we need a big crowd out there. Match starts at 5 o'clock. You're going to see a high level of tennis. You're going to get to see some talent that you've not seen on campus here before. I think that it's going to be a great season. I hope to have everybody out in their blue and gold, and let's make Marshall feel like they want to go home.
Of course, on the men's side, February 4th, you play Alabama Huntsville, and then, we've got the dates wrong, I guess. For the first, you play Huntsville, and then on the 4th, which is Sunday, you play University of Cumberland, because you have both February 4th there.
That's a doubleheader.
Oh, it's a doubleheader then. Okay.
But I think that they messed up and put Friday when that's a doubleheader.
Okay. So how does that usually run? 10-3, and you have a whole bunch of tennis played in between those times.
Yes, a doubleheader. It's an all-day affair in indoor courts with 3 courts, and it's exciting because you get that momentum going in that first match, and then you have a little bit of a break, and you come out, and it's like you've got to step right back up to the plate and be ready to go.
Now, you mentioned your assistant, Brad Bryan, a while ago. He has to, I guess, step up sometimes because, as you said, on the 18th, the men are playing at Louisville and the women are playing here, so you have to kind of split duties.
Got to split
times.
duties, and Bradley has been preparing for this for a whole year before now. He helped us a lot last year as like a student assistant. Bradley knows the way I like things done. He was a great doubles player. He's excellent in practice. He's getting better at the paperwork on the other end of it, but I can't say how valuable that Bradley's been to our program.
Once again, just around the corner, the
Absolutely.
18th. We want everybody to come out, the women playing Marshall, the men at Louisville, and then the men at Kentucky, and then taking on Xavier and Richmond. That'll be an exciting time.
It'll be an exciting time. Looking forward to it, though, Jason.
Always a pleasure. We'll talk
Always
to you
a
as the
pleasure.
season.
Thank you.
Kevin Fulton, tennis coach here at Morehead State University. We'll come back with more. This is the Eagle Sports Coaches Show.